Hey guys, it's Julia, designer at the Quilted Cow, and today's tutorial is on the helpful Heifer Forrest pillow. But before we begin, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Husqvarna Viking sewing machines, Creative Grids rulers, mats, and rotary cutters. Let's begin with the first step. The Helpful Heifer Forrest pillow is one of my absolute favorite kits. I love doing the reverse applique. You get a really good image for really little effort. You can find these kits on our website at thequiltedcow.com or on our Facebook Lives on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Let's begin with the first step. The first step is doing the underlay and the overlay part. So here's where you're going to decide if you would like to do the reverse applique version or the applique version. In this video, I'm going to show you a short tutorial on how to do both of them. So the first thing you want to do is to get a piece of white paper and trace out your template from the back of your pattern. This is going to give you the shape that you need, so that way you have what you need to get started. Now to get started, we need to find the exact measurements of our overlay fabric. So what we're going to do is fold our fabric in thirds. And make sure that you get it so that the inside is laying flat and the outside fold or corner is laying right against the edge. This is perfectly in thirds, and now we need to find the center of this. So we're going to fold our fabric in half one more time and press on that multi-fold right there. Now when you open your fabric back up, you're going to have lines at exactly where your thirds are on your overlay fabric. So the first thing you want to do is, after you have that folded, is pick whether you would like to do the template, or if you're doing the subscription box and you're going to be using your tree panel or the tree section of your panel, go ahead and get that fabric and we'll get it cut out. So I have already cut out my trees. So the next thing you want to do is just press these, and this is going to be for the applique version. The easiest way I have found to do any kind of applique is to use a double-sided fusible webbing. That's going to be one of your interfacings that has the paper on one side and the glue on the other, and they're stuck together. So the first thing I want to do is to get this webbing applied to my trees. You can do this when it's in a big chunk before it gets cut out. It makes it much easier to avoid getting glue on your iron. I'm just going to place these here and then give them a little cut with my rotary cutter. Now, if you would like to use fabric glue instead of this double-sided fusible webbing, that is a very good option for this fabric as well, or for this kit. So what you want to do to apply your fusible webbing is to just lay it on the glue side, so your paper side will be towards your mat. And then you're just going to give this a press with your iron. Now, since I've already cut out my shapes, it is a little more difficult because I can't just press it all the way down on there. Okay, once you have your interfacing applied to the back of your trees, we're just going to use a pinking blade to cut those out. Now, a pinking blade is just a jagged edge that goes back and forth like a little scallop. So to do this, I'm going to put my ruler on the outside of the tree, and I did the same thing when I cut them out to start with. And then I'm just going to cut those angles. You're going to repeat this process all the way around, just cutting out your interfacing the same as your tree. Okay, once you have your interfacing applied to the back of your trees, you're going to have a paper on the back of your fabric. So what you want to do is to just peel that up, and the glue will stay right on the back of your fabric. I use this material, I use this interfacing every time I do anything with applique. If you do not have this, you are welcome to use a glue stick. We sell these at thequiltedcow.com. Absolutely amazing product, and it dries clear. So you just need to peel the paper off all of your trees, and then we're going to apply it to our overlay fabric. Okay, so you want to take your overlay fabric and lay it on your pressing mat. And then you're going to center one of your trees however you would like, right on that fold that we made previously. And then you're just going to take your iron and press down on top of that. And this interfacing will just hold the two fabrics together. It's just like a big sheet of glue. It is an amazing product. So then you just want to move all the way down and line up your next tree. And repeat this at every fold. Get your trees nice and centered and then just press them in place. If you're using glue on the back of your trees, it's always good to press those in place too. It helps the glue to dry faster. And then this is what your finished product will look like for the center once you get all of your trees done. The next thing you want to do is to just run a stitch 1/4 of an inch around each of your trees, just to the inside of your cut lines. This will make sure that they stay nice and firm onto your pillow. Now I'm going to show you how to do the reverse applique part. Okay, so for the reverse applique section, I'm going to use an entire sheet of the double-sided fusible webbing, and I'm just going to take my overlay fabric and lay it right on top. And get that glue adhered. I'm just going to press it. Now, if you don't have the double-sided, use glue for this step. It's perfectly fine. And then you'll do it after you get everything cut out. Once you have your interfacing or your double-sided fusible webbing stuck to the back of your fabric, what we're going to do next is to fold it to find our thirds. So you're going to have it right side up and just fold it into thirds and give it a nice press. Then you're going to fold this third section in half and press it with your iron so you can find the center of each of those third sections. Once you have that pressed, we're just going to open our stuff back up and we're going to turn it so it's right sides down or wrong side up. So that way when we're drawing on the back of our fabric, just in case your lines don't erase. So here's where the tree from your template comes in. You're going to center it and get a pin. Now, since there's paper on the back of this, you can use a regular ink pen if you'd like. You're going to peel this paper off when you're done anyway. And I'm just going to trace around my trees. Once you have one tree done, you're going to repeat the same for the sides. Just lining up the fold for the center of your paper with the fold that you've created when you pressed it. Once you have your 3 trees all traced onto the paper or the back of your fabric, the next step is we're going to cut them out. Here's where your pinking blade or your pinking shears come into play. What you want to do is put your ruler right on the line, and we're just going to cut out each of these tree shapes. Now you want to leave the outside of the fabric intact. So just make sure you're cutting on the lines. Okay, once you have all your trees cut out with your pinking blade, the next thing you're going to do is just remove your centers. You may have a few stray little fabrics or little threads that stick, and just use your little scissors to cut those out of the way. That way you're not trimming into the corner and messing up your pinking design. So when you get your trees all cut out, it should look like this, just tree-shaped holes right in your overlay fabric. Here's all the pieces that you cut out, and you are welcome to save these and use them on a different project. Applique them just like we did earlier in the video. Now the next step is you want to take your underlay fabric. and lay it out on your pressing mat. And then you're going to take your overlay and peel the paper off. Once you have all of the paper off the back of your overlay fabric, we are just going to center it right on top of our underlay. Once you get your edges all lined up, you're just going to take your iron and press to hold it in place. And this will bond both sides of the glue to your fabrics and hold your fabrics together. Once you have your two fabrics stuck together, either by glue or by your double-sided fusible webbing, you're going to step to your machine and run a 1/4 inch seam, this time a 1/4 inch outside of your tree. So let's step to our machine and add a stay stitch in. Once you have your underlay and your overlay sewn together all around your trees, the next thing you're going to do is to do a little base stitch right around all the edges, just to be sure they stay together while you're stitching. Now, once you have the center of your pillow done, the next step is you're going to grab the two borders that you have cut, and we're going to attach one of those to the top of the trees and one of those to the bottom of the trees. So you're just going to lay your fabrics right sides together. Line up one at the top edge and one at the bottom edge. And then pin or clip those to hold them in place. Now let's step to our machine and sew these together. Once you have your borders attached, the next thing you're going to do is to press them away from the center of your pillow top. So you want to take your iron and just press the fabric right away, creating a nice sharp little seam. You're going to repeat that for both sides of your pillow, both the top and the bottom. Once you have your borders pressed away from the center, now is the time, if you're going to quilt it, to take your muslin and your batting and attach it to the back side of your pillow. If you're not going to quilt it, just skip that step. It looks perfectly fine either way. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the backing and get the backing pieces all ready to go. So I'm just going to set this pillow top just aside for now. Now to prep your backing pieces, you want to fold them in half so that the longer sides are folded and the short sides are touching. You want to fold it so it's right sides together, lining up all your seams. And then we're just going to give it a nice press, and then we'll top stitch this. So you're going to repeat that step for both sides of your backing. And then we're just going to go to the machine and top stitch both pieces, and then we'll start attaching them. Now you can add a top stitch at 1/8 of an inch or you can add a top stitch at 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. Either way you prefer, it's up to you. Once you have the top stitching done on both sides of your backing, we are going to stack them with the front part of our pillow to finish this pillow kit off. So you want to take your pillow front and lay it right side up in front of you. And then you're going to take your backing pieces and you're going to place the top stitch right in the middle. So that way the top edge and the sides are all in the bottom. The top edge, the sides, and the bottom are all raw edges, and you're going to align those. Now your pillows are going to overlap in the center. That's what makes it the envelope enclosure. And you're going to repeat that same step on the other side of your pillow. Next, you want to pin or clip all of your edges. Now, anytime I do a pillow enclosure, I like to do a back stitch over both the parts where one pillow top is and where your other pillow top is. This is the section that's going to get the most wear and tear on your pillows from putting the pillow form in and out. Once you have your pillow backing and your pillow top all secure, we're going to step to our machine and sew a 1/4 inch seam all the way around the perimeter of this pillow. So once you have your pillow all attached, we're going to turn our pillow top right side out. So after you have it turned right side out, you're going to take a stiletto or a teal thingy and just poke out your corners so they're nice and sharp and crisp. Make sure you get all 4. And then once you are finished pushing out your corners, we are going to press our pillow top so it's nice and flat. And that is how you make the Helpful Heifer Forest pillow. It's a reverse applique project. If you ended up making it for the subscription kits, yours will look similar to this. Absolutely adorable. You can't go wrong doing either way. Please like and subscribe for more tutorials, and thanks for watching.
Okay, you wicked cool quilters, good job. You made it to the end. We would like to thank our sponsors, Husqvarna Viking Sewing Machines, Creative Grids, rulers, rotary cutters, and mats, and Wilmington Prints for the beautiful fabrics. Thanks for watching.